Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium, CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world.
And TheAmericanCatholic.com, politics and culture from a Catholic perspective.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. More states' rights violations. Obama is attacking New Hampshire the same way he did Indiana after they defunded Planned Parenthood, by claiming the abortion giant is a qualified and necessary health care provider. A state health official told New Hampshire Public Radio that he received a warning from the federal government that the new legislation violates federal laws by denying Medicaid recipients of what they are calling a qualified provider. The state has been ordered to reinstate funding for Planned Parenthood by August 15th, or Obama will withhold federal health care funding. Live Action has already proven the point that any health care services offered by Planned Parenthood are more readily available at the health care facility down the street. Human-animal hybrids. All in the name of research, scientists in Britain have been quietly experimenting with embryos to produce human-animal hybrids over the past 3 years. The Human Fertilization Embryology Act of 2008 legalized the creation of a variety of hybrids, and the Daily Mail says 155 animal-human embryos of various types have been created since then. 3 labs, all located at universities in the United Kingdom, were granted licenses to carry out the research after the act came into effect, although a lack of funding has driven the programs to a halt. A professor from the Medical Research Council's National Institute for Medical Research says he is not concerned about the development of such embryos because they are required to be destroyed after 14 days anyway. Although funding for such projects is currently almost non-existent, it is expected that there will be much more money available in the future. Please read the full article on our resource page by clicking the link right outside the screen. Ireland versus the Vatican. The Vatican has recalled their envoy to Ireland as the Irish government is squaring off with the Church in the wake of the Cloyne Diocese sex abuse scandals. The government is accusing the Vatican of sabotaging efforts of Irish bishops to report child abuse to law enforcement and demanding an official response from the Vatican. Last week, Prime Minister Enda Kenny denounced what he called, quote, the dysfunction, disconnection, elitism, and the narcissism that dominate the culture of the Vatican to this day, end quote. Kenny's statement represents the first time in 17 years the government has attacked the Vatican instead of local church leaders regarding the abuse of children. The center of the dispute revolves around a letter written by the Vatican to Irish bishops in 1997 regarding their child abuse policies, which you can read more about by visiting our resource page. Just click the link right over here. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few seconds.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web, and RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
Communist communications. The government-sanctioned Catholic Church in China is seeking dialogue with the Catholic Church in Brazil. On the same day, the Chinese Catholic Patriotic Association illicitly ordained a new bishop earlier this month. 12 Chinese officials visited the secretary of the Conference of Catholic Bishops in Brazil to, quote, propose a dialogue between the two Episcopal Church conferences. The visiting group was led by China's Vice Minister of Religious Affairs, who is in charge of overseeing the activities of the government-backed Patriotic Association. In a statement removed from the Brazilian bishop's website, the Vice Minister said they were invited to visit the country by the Biblical Society of Brazil, which is not affiliated with the Catholic Church and is currently run by a retired Presbyterian pastor. You can read the full article on our resource page by clicking the link right over here. Communist efforts continue with Chinese planning more ordinations. The Chinese Patriotic Catholic Association, or the CPCA, is announcing its intention to illicitly ordain more bishops. A top official of the organization says the ordinations will take place when, quote, conditions are right, and would not provide a schedule of ordinations because he says the preliminary work is complicated and involves various parties. Vatican authorities indicate that only the newly ordained are definitely excommunicated. Vatican expert Sandra Magister says, quote, "For the consecrating bishops, they are suspending judgment until they ascertain whether they acted freely or under constraint," end quote. However, consecrating bishops are presumed culpable until proven otherwise. You can read the full story on our resource page by clicking the link right outside the screen. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. And be sure to check out The Vortex today, where Michael will talk about RealCatholicTV.com's latest projects. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tell all your friends about us. And as always, God bless.